How do you hold your team accountable to numbers or key performance indicators using the power of one-on-one meetings? One-on-one meetings, I say this all the time, are the focal point. They're like the most important thing when it comes to holding a team accountable. So you need to learn how to hold proper one-on-one meetings in your business if you want to create a high accountability culture. I always say, like, you have two choices in business. You can choose to have family vibes, right? Which is like everyone treats each other like a family and there's no accountability and people show up late and there's no trust and there's no kind of like accountability to numbers. You can choose to build a business like that, or you can choose to build a business like all the successful businesses do and build a high performance culture. Build that Super Bowl winning team that has that high accountability, that wants to reach their numbers, that wants to be held accountable. And the one-on-one meeting is the way you hold people accountable. So once you have key performance indicators set for your business, and we have another video on this on our channel, once you have key performance indicators set for your business, it's really important, which key performance indicators, just to re-explain, are basically the numbers that have to be hit in order for you to reach your annual goal, broken down to a weekly basis, right? So you need 1,000 consultations in a year to create 100 sales, which will create $100,000 or $100 million or whatever, right? Well, we need to break that down to the week so you know how many consults you need per week, consultations, what close rate you need per week, and then what average transaction value to reach that revenue goal as an example. Those key performance indicators break down to an individualized basis, right? Each individual on your team needs no more than 3 numbers that they are held accountable to, okay? Remember this, you're paying people's salaries, you're paying incentives, you're paying commissions, whatever you're paying. You are paying people money to work with your business if you are a leader. You don't just pay people money to work with your business without a result. That would be like investing by throwing your money out into a windstorm, right? That is not smart. In order to have every person on your team make financial sense, they have to have a result, right? Otherwise, you're going to go out of business and you're going to do a disservice to everyone else on your team if each member on your team is not having the intended result that they need to have, right? So I want to explain kind of like this is how you motivate your team. This is how you retain your team. This is how you keep your team motivated. This is how you turn mediocre performers into high-performing team players. It's through accountability. And it's how you get on the same page with your team. It's how you share feedback with your team in an organized way. So I'm going to explain kind of like the what and how of one-on-one meetings so you know how to hold them properly. I hope I've sold you on the importance of them. All right. So here are the rules of one-on-one meetings. Number one, I have notes here. Number one is they're scheduled. Number two is they're structured. Number three is they're two-sided, meaning it's not just you talking, it's two-sided conversation. Number three is they're loving. I'm sorry, that's number four, they're loving. Number five is they are firm, meaning you're firm with certain things. I'll explain. Number six, they're numbers-based. And number seven, they're directional. Okay? So let me explain each of them. Here are the rules of one-on-ones. Number one, scheduled. You can't just have ad hoc one-on-one meetings with your team. They have to be scheduled the same time, same day, each week, okay? If you're holding one-on-one meetings with your team. Structured, meaning it's not just you talk about whatever comes up. No. There is a structure to one-on-one meetings, which I'll be going into after I re-review these rules, the exact 4-step structure, okay? They're two-sided. That means that there should be an equal amount of talking on both sides of the meeting, okay? It is not a time for you to vent all of your problems to the person you're holding a one-on-one with. It's a time for listening and talking, equal on both sides. Loving means that you have to enter a one-on-one meeting with the intention to show love towards the person you're having that one-on-one with. It's not easy to have a one-on-one meeting, especially when it's feedback oriented. So you want to enter it with like, I believe in you. I want you to succeed. I know what your potential is, right? And if you operate from that place, it's easy to give hard feedback to someone because it's coming from that raw, authentic place. Firm means it shouldn't end, a one-on-one should not end with wishy-washy, like, okay, maybe we'll follow up about this, blah, 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 blah. Like firm means like, I need you to improve on X number by X day. This is your job, right? So there needs to be an element of firmness, obviously embedded with the lovingness. And then it needs to be numbers-based, which means that it has to be based on the key performance indicators that specific role needs to hit, right? Key performance indicators are one of the key focal points of a one-on-one meeting. And I'll explain kind of like, let's say someone needs to hit, a salesperson needs to hit 15 contacts per day or 35 contacts per day. They have to have sent X number of contracts, and they have to have X number of talk time through each day, right? And that averages out over a week. You add up the weekly numbers, you have a one-on-one with the salesperson. And it's not about discussion, it's about literally when you get to the key performance, I'll explain the structure in a second, but when you get to the key performance section of a one-on-one, there's no discussion. It's you highlight in red the numbers that are off, you highlight in yellow the numbers that are meh, you highlight in green the numbers that are at or above where they need to be. There's no conversation here with numbers. The numbers are the numbers are the numbers are the numbers. You can either have numbers or you can have stories, but you can't have both, right? So you gotta be crystal clear with you are off track on this number. But, listen, these are the numbers you're responsible for. Remember, loving, firm, right? And last but not least, directional, okay? You need to be courageous enough to give direction to someone during a one-on-one meeting and to say, here's what I need you to improve on by next week. Here are your to-do list items by next week. Please email me when you've completed these to-do list items, right? Here's exactly what I need from you by next week's session. And here are the long-term things I need you to improve on, right? And then every time you give feedback, you also want to be receiving of feedback. You want to ask that person, what can I do to help you? What system, training, help can I give you to facilitate in you being successful? Now remember this, if the key performance indicators that someone is held accountable to is tied to them getting a bonus, like it should be, or if they reach the C, B, or A level of their key performance indicators, C being the lowest level, that's right at their KPI, B would be a little bit above, A would be above and beyond, they should receive a bonus A, bonus B, bonus C being the highest, right, for that A level goal, right? They're receiving a bonus if they reach the KPI. So it's in their best interest for them to improve and reach those KPIs. Separately, you also should know your team's Ppfs, which stands for their personal, professional, and financial goals. It's not all about holding your team accountable to numbers. It's also about marrying their job performance with their personal, professional, and financial goals. So if someone has the financial goal of getting a raise or the professional goal of getting a promotion, right? Or the personal goal of taking their family to Disney World, right? You need to explain to them as a leader how them wanting to get a raise, them wanting to get promoted, and them taking their family to Disney World will occur if they perform by hitting X, Y, and Z numbers. And by asking them for how you can help them reach those numbers by being a better leader, better supporter of them, okay? So those are some of the important elements of one-on-one meetings. Now, one way to roll this out for your company right now is first, I want you to, if you have a team, I want you to first solidify what are your one-on-one processes, okay? And if you don't have clear one-on-one processes, here's the structure that we follow. This is what I promised you. The first step of the process is empathy, okay? So you want to start a one-on-one with empathy, okay? Meaning, how are things going? What can I help you with? What's working? What's not working? A lot of listening, right? Then you want to transition into KPIs, meaning here are the numbers from last week, on track, off track, on track, right? let's talk about this off-track one. What can I do to help you here? What's not working? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's the second step of the structure of a one-on-one. Quarterly goals check-in. Okay. If that person owns a quarterly goal, we call them quarterly boulders at SMB Team. If that person owns a quarterly goal, that's the time you'd want to check in. Remember, key performance indicators are for the day-to-day responsibilities. Quarterly goals are project-based initiatives that has an intense focus for a quarter, right? So you'd also want to leave a little bit of time at the end of the meeting to check in. Hey, I know that we gave you X project for this quarter. How are you doing there? What's working? What's not working? What do you need from me? So you do a quarterly goal check-in, right? Then, last but not least, you always, if it's with a department head or someone who has control over processes in the company, you want to always ask them, what new processes did you create last week? What new processes do you want to create based on the problems that you experienced last week? Can you commit to making any processes next week, right? Super important to always check in on processes so that you can then know, have processes changed in the last week? Do new processes need to be made? What's not working, and how can we create processes to help that, the stuff that's not working, right? So all of this combined becomes a really effective structure for a one-on-one. And then at the end, you always want to, again, end with clear next steps, what you're looking for from next week. You keep your end of the promise too. If they ask for something from you, you keep your end of the bargain, and it creates a really healthy relationship with one-on-ones. One-on-ones should be happening every single week. Every single person on your team should be having a one-on-one, regardless of their role. Every single person needs one weekly one-on-one per week scheduled. And again, I'm telling you, if you figure this process out, this is how you motivate a team. This is how you retain high-level team members. This is how you provide feedback. This is how you build that high accountability culture that you want to build in your business. And once you roll this out, I'm telling you, you're going to see such powerful results. So I hope you like this video. My name is Bill Hauser, CEO of the SMB Team. If you want more videos like this, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, we give out our tools bundle for free on the best personal and business growth tools that I've used to scale our business to 8 figures in less than 4 years. You can download all those in the description of the video, tools.smbteam.com for free. I'll see you guys in the next video. It's my job to serve you because I want to help 10,000 businesses double their revenues, and I hope that you're the next one. Stay great.